Lady Reporter, aka the Blonde Fury from 1989. Cynthia Rothrock goes undercover as a reporter to find counterfeiters or something, I'm not really sure. Theme song.
Counter's Reviews! Counter's Reviews!
If you want to watch Lady Reporter, aka, well, I have written here the Blonde Fury, but I mean Blonde Fury, check the link in the description. So I picked this one up from Vinegar Syndrome. It's on sale, and I watched it last weekend. I almost didn't review it because I watched the English dub version and I got a little confused and got a little bored. But the Blu-ray also has the original Hong Kong edit, so with subs. So I decided to watch that one, and maybe it's because it was subbed and not dubbed. I had to pay more attention to it, and I think I figured out the storyline of Lady Reporter. So in Hong Kong, they are making counterfeit USA currency. And then the FBI thinks they know who's doing it. They think it is the people running the newspaper, but they can't prove it. So they hire Cynthia Rothrock to go undercover at the paper. Her character has some kind of history in Hong Kong. It's not clear if she grew up there, went to school there, or whatever. But like one point, her friend's dad's house has like Cynthia Rothrock's martial arts trophy there. So I don't know. But like, anyway, she's friends with this woman, and the dad of her friend is the prosecutor who's putting together a case against these counterfeiters. The prosecutor, he's a good guy, and he refuses to take a bribe. So the bad guys give him some drugs and make him go delusional. He thinks he's He-Man.
I've seen him on TV. He's the skeleton man from Uranus. He's evil. He hates mankind. Everybody knows it. Prosecutor, you. Please will you consider your questions more carefully. Don't forget who you are. I know who I am. Who are you then? I'm He-Man.
But a photographer from a rival newspaper got pictures of the prosecutor. And by the way, he's the director. Well, one of them. It's complicated. But he got pictures of the prosecutor being kidnapped. So they know foul play is involved. But this is where it gets confusing. The prosecutor left a folder of evidence at his house.
Here it is, Daddy.
So they try to get it back. Now, we know there's a folder there, but I don't know there's any point where the bad guys learn it. They just seem to be going after Rothrock and her friend for no real reason. So anyway, but the bad guys are trying to get the folder, and they have to fight, and there's kidnappings. You may notice I didn't really mention Rothrock going undercover as a reporter. That's because after about a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and one really great action scene, they kind of drop all that. And the action scenes are great. That's really the only reason to watch this. I will say, her friend, Rothrock's friend, she's cute. So there you go. It's interesting that the dubbed and the subbed versions are slightly different. I think the dubbed one was made for international release. It's like 10 minutes longer, but it's mostly just little bits here and there. And in that, the scene where she gets caught, being undercover, there's a scene that goes like a second longer, and I'm really surprised she did not break her back during one of the stunts. And apparently there were lots of injuries on the set. And the storyline, as I said, is kind of a mess. The word on the street was it was filmed, and then it put on a shelf for a while, and they hired Corey Yoon to do some research and really up the action. And Corey Yoon is pretty, when it comes to action, he doesn't really disappoint. There's also, which I guess kind of typical for 80s Hong Kong movies, there's some broad humor. One scene I did kind of think was kind of entertaining was where the rival photographer and the reporter initially think Rothrock is a prostitute.
You took my picture.
Hey, lady, don't worry. When the photos are printed, we'll cover your eyes, all right? Don't worry.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
She's still smiling. Lady, what's the matter with you? Most ladies don't want to be exposed.
Oh, that's all right. It's part and parcel of my profession. I send photos to my paper weekly.
Oh, one of those magazines.
Excuse me, I have to go back to work now.
Hey! What? You're making her work.
She's getting paid for it.
What? Haven't you got a heart? You're gonna make her do it now?
That's okay. It's what I'm being paid to do. I want to do it.
And I will say the subtitles gave a little more context to that because there's a fire and the sign breaks and, it's in Chinese, but the dubbed version doesn't tell us what the sign says. Apparently in the subtitles, he reads it. It's like, it tells you it's, like blonde pussy, I think is what it says. So they think that Rothrock is the woman. Then there's also a weird comedy scene with a rat. Like I said, it's kind of confusing. I will say that the title has made me think of the Beatles a lot, so I'm going to give Lady Reporter, aka the Blonde Fury, 2 thumbs up. Lady Reporter, also known as Blonde Fury, it does not make sense.